All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome. I'm here with my buddy Patrick. We're at Patrick's house, of course, on a Sunday, just relaxing, enjoying the day for a change.
Drinking my brisk Arizona iced tea,
Cheers.
raspberry,
Cheers.
which is one of
Potential
the.
endorsement.
It's like one of the few things that actually it says 99 cents. It's been 99 cents for as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
but it's actually only 79 cents.
Yeah, you can get it for less than 99 cents if you shop it right.
I felt like this is really, really cool. And I love being able to buy these and know that they're going to be under $1. It's the one thing that one fiat dollar is actually still good for.
And actually, I really like Arizona's because it's pretty simple ingredients and it's as close to organic as you can get. It's like got a flavored beverage.
Do you remember that story of the brothers who were like, that own it? They refused to increase the price.
Yeah.
And anyone who increased the price, they were like going to cancel and not sell to them anymore.
Yeah, no distribution for them.
Yeah.
Because when everything was going up, it was like, okay. All right, so what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about...
Insurance is one thing I was talking to you about.
Yeah, let's talk about insurance for a minute.
Yeah, because I was talking to a buddy in Hawaii, and he is actually lucky. He didn't have anything with the fire. He's on a different island. But he was saying that one of the things they're talking about is how many people are going to be filing claims. And these aren't like, $500,000 homes. We're talking like Lahaina. I don't know if you've ever been to Lahaina, but it's really a nice city. Like one of my favorite places there, Local Boys has some of the best shave ice, and there's just beautiful places there on the beach. But all these places are ridiculously expensive. Not just expensive, but the supplies to rebuild isn't out there. You think they have contractors ready to take on the influx of people wanting to rebuild? What are they? You know, the prices of rentals,
Plus raw materials, yeah.
Vacation at Maui is pretty much not going to happen for a while. I mean, I guess you can go Rotahana and enjoy the wilderness, but that's not what most people go to Hawaii for.
Well, this has been a trend ever since 2020, right? I mean, we had disruptions in cities. In certain areas, they were burning things, and they happened to be in economic empowerment zones, and there was speculation.
And the reason he called me was to speculate, hey, what do you think started the fires? He was wondering what I thought about it. I was like, well, I haven't talked to Jeff about its spontaneous event in nature, but, what do you think happened with the fire there? I guess I'd love to, I don't know if I really want to hear what you think.
Well, the facts are this, okay? Facts are that multiple fires started at once. That's not unusual.
It is usual. It happened before. In Canada, remember?
Yeah, they just suddenly, spontaneously all did that at once.
Yeah.
So, coincidence or not, but so it's a fact that multiple fires started at once, and it's a fact that this is in highly desirable land. Like, this is areas of Maui that lots of people have been trying to buy other people out for years, like generations. And now it's on fire, so now literally there could be a fire sale coming.
But imagine the insurance claim. Like, how much money is actually going... I wonder if anyone's done any math on that number. Let me just check. I'll see if I can look it up.
Yeah, you looked it up while I talking off the cuff about insurance. But the last 3 or 4 years, insurance, obviously, I used to know many actuaries, and that's the people who do the math behind insurance. And insurance companies have been getting pummeled. They're just getting hammered with all the different claims, all the different accidents out there. Now, in 2020, when most people were at home, there weren't as many accidents or claims, but now there's been event after event, train derailments, weather issues, fires, all kinds of things. And now it's to the point where, like, if you're a homeowner in certain areas of the country, you're struggling to get homeowners insurance, and that's a requirement for your mortgage. So if you have a house, you have to get insured. And there's State Farm's pulling out of California.
Zones.
I've heard 2 major companies are pulling out of California because it's too expensive. Not that they won't just charge you more and more. They aren't underwriting. They're not writing policies in those states anymore. So if you own a home in California or Colorado or another area where there's lots of forest fires or that danger, insurance companies don't want to write new policies.
Yeah.
So now you might lose your house.
And in Newport, Oregon, like in the hurricane zone, like not a lot of people want to actually provide
There's a hurricane zone in Oregon?
Yeah, dude. When you go into Newport, if you go driving down into Newport, you'll see it in the road. There's
like tsunami zone.
Oh, sorry, tsunami zone. That's what I meant.
I know my natural, like, hurricanes are mostly on the east side.
Bro, I've never had a big natural disaster like that.
No.
In Oregon, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah, you get, like,
knock on wood,
fires and earthquakes mostly out here.
Yeah.
Whereas, like every part of the country, everybody wonders about, like, what's the safe
zone?
It's everywhere. What do you got?
$1.4 billion of damage to 3,100 residences and over 93 people dead.
That's like a couple of days of paying for Ukraine. So I don't see the big deal.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they could just say, hey, it's now like a disaster zone for FEMA, and you should be able to get, like, maybe if it's a war zone, they get free money like Ukraine does, and they can just pay for that instead.
Did you
Or
hear
just
that?
make it a Ukraine zone.
Did you hear that people can't even they can't even give supplies to people because it has to come from FEMA?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Where they were, and the Red Cross,
And
like it
the Red
had
Cross
to go
and
through
FEMA
the
and
Red
military.
Cross.
Yeah.
They were saying that they couldn't even get donated supplies because it wasn't approved.
So,
They want to control everything. It's just like what's going on with the conversation in CBDCs. But right now, the insurance ideas, you've got fires going everywhere. You've got train derailments going on everywhere. How much is actually like insurance companies can't be able to handle all of these claims and it not take a hit?
and insurance companies these are one of your major advertisers on television. Still, they exist out there. But you see most of these commercials are State Farm or Progressive. We all know those ads. That's because they have the money to go make those ads and to drive more business. But it's getting harder and harder for them to make ends meet. That's why they're not writing policies. So if insurance dries up, this is another industry. It's a middleman industry that blockchain could easily eliminate as well. So there's lots of speculation about
Just think about
what's going to happen.
how much materials out there that they have to replace, like how much lumber they have to get shipped out there to rebuild homes.
Well, in that instance, yes. But what I'm saying in general about insurance, from auto to homeowners to whatever, insurance is under attack, and and the issues are being passed on to the homeowner, and they can't even get insurance. So insurance companies could be in trouble, and all these investments that we've heard about, investments in China and the commercial real estate, where do you think the insurance companies are putting their money so that they can get returns on dividends?
They're
They
putting
could
them in the
get
same
pummeled
place
too.
the pensions are.
Exactly. They could get hammered as well. So don't be surprised if insurance companies start to have issues and bad earnings and laying
What
people
happens
off.
if your insurance company goes bankrupt and you've paid for the policy? Because you can't have a mortgage
gone.
without. But then what happens to your mortgage? Because you have to have insurance.
You have to,
The bank insures it through their own place. Is
or
how
you
they
have
do
to
it.
have another solution, and that right now that doesn't exist. Right now,
If you let your insurance lapse, doesn't the bank insure it? I remember that happened once to me.
If they can
I messed
underwrite it.
something up and I didn't renew something because I was getting a new policy, and they charged me for bank insurance policy, which is a lot more. I remember I got that for a month
yeah, it really. I think it
because the
depends.
bank won't allow it to be uninsured.
It depends on there's different kinds of insurance because there's mortgage insurance and there's property insurance.
I'm talking about the mortgage insurance,
So
like
the
that.
mortgage insurance, that's like your.
No, I'm
that's-
talking about the property insurance. The mortgage insurance is like the gap insurance. Like if you don't pay 20%, there's like a
Yes.
mortgage premium. What I'm
Yes,
talking about
that's-
is the actual property itself. Like if something happens to the home and you lapse coverage, the bank will charge you the extra money that you have to pay because
Right.
they'll take out their own policy on the structure in case
That's right.
something happens to the structure.
'Cause they wanna be
you just
covered.
aren't the beneficiary of
They
it.
want to be, yeah. The bank's
Yeah.
always the beneficiary, but that's the same thing with PMI. That's the other
Yeah.
term is PMI. It's like
Property mortgage
property
insurance.
mortgage insurance. That's for if you have a loan more than 80% on the property.
Yeah, if you don't have 80% loan to value minimum, you have to put that down, which is why a lot of people put that 20% down. But insurance game is about to change. It's about to change.
And no one's talking about it, but it's a major driver. And I mentioned the advertising just to give you an idea of the size. We're getting into football season. We're going to see all these ads that are out there. The State Farm, the Progressive, you name the insurance company, they're going to be out there. But they are one of the major advertisers out there because they have these funds. It's a huge industry, major employer as well. If they start having issues and they start to crumble and it's going to ripple through everything. And it's another industry that's ripe for just modernization and just getting disrupted either through blockchain or otherwise. But now they're being forced to being disrupted because of external environmental implications. And if people can't get insurance, I don't know I've heard people they're losing their properties because of this. And it's just another stress point that's happening. And just when you think you're on top of something else will just bubble up. So don't be surprised if insurance starts to become a major issue, a major conversation for the rest of this year and into next year as well. So
Yeah, and make sure to shop around for insurances you do currently have because at this point, I think there are more competitive rates. You just kind of get stuck in a rut paying the same insurance premiums over and over again, year over year. But really do some shopping around. It might save you money because before, insurance, that wasn't such a significant part. Taxes and insurance haven't typically been a significant part of your mortgage, but now it's becoming a huge part of your mortgage with the insurance now and taxes going up because valuations of homes are starting to skyrocket over the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, and that's another conversation we can have. But there's four elements to your payment. There's your principal and interest. It's called PITI: principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So the insurance is changing. The taxes are going to go up or down depending on the valuation of the property. If your property's gone up in value, they're going to probably appraise it higher or assess it higher, ask for more taxes because every government wants more taxes right now. Plus your interest rate goes up, so now your interest goes up. The only thing that's not changing is your principal. But it's like
I'd argue your principal is going up because you need more money down. I mean, prices aren't the price of this home that
I'm
we're
saying
sitting
anybody
in
that already
right
has a mortgage. If you're not even worried about this, you already have you've got your 3 or 4% mortgage. You feel like you're sitting, you're happy
your
as a
principal
clam.
won't change
You're not worried about, but now
if
you have to
your
worry about the
mortgage
other
is
part of
fixed,
it.
yeah.
The P won't change, but the I, T, and I of that pity can all change and go up. So
yeah, this is a really hard situation. I just posted about how people used to be able to pay off their home in 2.5 years in 1971 with their average, salary, and now
now
two and a half years.
It's 7.5 times the average income in the U.S. is the average house price. It's just really, really high, and they masked that for the last 20 years because they kept dropping the
And
interest
that's
rates.
only paying off the house, much less all your other things.
So the message I want to give to you guys today is that even if you feel comfortable in your house and if you feel good with your insurance, shop for a second, have a backup plan because their insurance companies, these big ones, are pulling out. I mean, if they pull out and you're left I got to find an insurance company. There are companies out there. There are people, homeowners right now, scrambling to try and find an insurance cover because their mortgage company is requiring it, and they can't find anyone to write a policy.
And don't forget, the whole point of insurance is one thing. It's to mitigate risk, right? So you can never eliminate it, you can transfer it. But the whole part of insurance is just taking the burden, the risk of loss off of you and transferring it to an insurance company. So the idea is you're just trying to figure out who's going to take that risk on for the cheapest and what do you really need included in that policy? What is the actual price of building your house over again today? Is it the actual replacement cost? Take a look at what these insurance providers actually give you because right now, I suspect that we're going to see some shakeup in the insurance industry, not just in mortgage insurance, but just in auto insurance as well.
Yeah. And please leave. We're 10 minutes in the video. We're terrible at this, but please like, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And please let us know in the comments. What else are you concerned about? Are you concerned about different kind of insurance? Are you worried about something that we didn't even mention today that we need to look at and that people aren't talking about? Because we love to get the best ideas. Best ideas come from you guys.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to know. What are you guys concerned about? And we put together solutions or look for them in the community. So there's lots of things to be concerned about. Sorry to bring you another one, but we want to make sure that you're prepared and not scared. So I'll see you in the next video. And for Patrick and Jeff, we'll see you next time. Take care.